All right, hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Friday, happy Halloween, and October is over with. It wasn't October that we were expecting. At least I wasn't expecting that kind of October. I don't know about you guys. I was expecting much better October for Bitcoin. Miners, on the other hand, actually did pretty good. We'll take a look at those guys here in a second, how they did in October. But overall, Bitcoin I thought was going to have a great month this time around. We're going to be up, 12, 10, 15%, something like that. Didn't play out that way. We had a red October. So it is what it is. Hopefully going into November, we'll have a much better time here. Obviously, that will be to be seen yet. And Bitcoin overall this year has not done nowhere near what we would have expected it to do. So it's strange, right? It's a little strange. But we'll get into that. We'll talk about the miners today. They were mostly in the green here. Bitcoin was in the green. Ethereum was in the green. My markets were in the green as well. So overall, it was actually not that bad of a day. But still, for the month, it wasn't that great here. So time is money here. Let's get into it. Not financial advice as always. For entertainment only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And then we do have two new stories on two of the miners here at least that we can talk about here. And then we'll get into Q&A. So it should be pretty short and sweet. All right. So Bitcoin today was up nicely here. It closed above the 200 simple day moving average there. It was up 1.15%. It closed at 109,555 there. So at least we bounced off of that. We'll see where we go on the weekend here. Markets were in the green as well. Ethereum was in the green. Miners, for the most part, were in the green as well. They were at one point in the red, but they bounced back up towards this later on in the day here. So that was kind of good to see there. And Ethereum today was, Ethereum was up a little bit as well. Ethereum was up 1.1% there. So if we look at, we'll talk about the miners and we'll take a look at where they are for the month of October here as well. So if we do this and go to the monthly chart on this, we can see here that Bitcoin here for the month was actually down approximately 3.96% here on this one, at least it's showing that. Ethereum, if we look at that, was down 7.24%, so a little bit rougher ride there. Bitfarms today was down 2.22%. For the month here, it is still up nicely. It is up 40.78%. So even with Bitcoin being down here, a lot of the miners have done actually really well here. Bittier today was down 1.46% on the month. It was up nicely as well, 29.9%, almost 30% there. Kango today was up actually 4.7%. For the month, it's actually down again. It was down 5.42% in the month. It's having a 4-month losing streak here right now as it is. Cypher today was down 2.2%. For the month here, up huge, 48% here on that one. So that one's still doing really good. Cleanspark was up a little bit here today, 0.62%. For the month, it was also up 22.7% there. CORZ today having another nice day, was up 3.86%. For the month here, it is up 20%. Hive was down a little bit today, 1.89%, but for the month it's still green, being up 29%. Hut 8 was up today, 4.3%. For the month, it is up 45%. Great month for Hut 8 there. IREN was up 4.35% today. For the month, it was up 29, almost 30% there. Mawson today was up 2.87%, and for the month, it is up just barely there, 0.05% on the month here. Riot was down actually today, 6.21%. For the month here, it is up 3.94%. Riot came down today, I think, because of their talk about how long it's going to take them to build out their AI data centers potentially. I think that's maybe what drove it. That's the only thing I could really think of there. They had a great quarter. I think their guidance was for building out the data centers, the timeline on that maybe wasn't what people were expecting there, maybe. Wolf here was up 4.59%, and for the month, it's also had a pretty good month there, 35.73% so far. So that was looking pretty good. So overall, the miners, again, had a great month with Bitcoin being down, excuse me, with Bitcoin being down for the month. Miners did not follow Bitcoin at all, because if this was the case where miners were following Bitcoin, they would have been down, 30, even maybe like 40% at max here. So it was actually good to see that the miners did not follow Bitcoin this time around, and they're following more on the HPC AI potential that they have going forward there. So that was pretty good. All right, let's take a look at the holding companies here for Bitcoin here. All of them had a pretty good day except for GameStop there. MicroStrategy was up 5.87. Galaxy was up 2.76. Let's take a look at these guys, see how these guys have been doing on the monthly here. MicroStrategy is down for the month here. It's down 16.36%. So definitely we're doing worse than Bitcoin there. And this thing has had a 3-month losing streak as well, or actually a 4-month losing streak. Galaxy being up to 2.76. It was obviously much higher during the month here. It was up to 64.37. But finished out the month being up only 4.27% there. see, block here was up 2.73% for the day, and for the month, it was actually up 5%. Coin being up 4.65% and being kind of flat here on the month. It was only up 1.86%. Metaplanet was up 0.82%, and this one's also having a 4-month losing streak here. It was down for the month here, 14.61%. Exodus was up today 3.2%. For the month, it was down 11.84%. This is Nexa. Nexa was up 3.62 today, and for the month, it was down to almost 3% there. Semler was up 7.5% today, but for the month, it is still down 11.8%. And then Phoenix was up today 7.65%, but for the month here, it is down 11.36%. So a lot of the holding companies have done obviously worse than Bitcoin has done, which is kind of what we would expect to happen there. And then GameStop being down 1.28% today, it was down for the month 18.29% there. The small miners, we look at those guys here, see how they did for the month here. Any for today was up 1.18%. For the month, oh my gosh, I gotta zoom in on this. Why is this not working for me? Let me see, maybe go logarithmic. There we go. Do that. Okay, for the month it is down 0.4% roughly. Argo was up today 2.9%. For the month here it is up roughly 40%. DigiPower was up 8.84% today, and then for the month it was up 163%. So that one had a great month there. DMG was up 4%, and for the month it is actually down 5.71%. Mawson was flat today, but for the month here it is up also 171%. So a lot of these smaller guys here were definitely catching a nice bid there. Can was up today 15.32%. For the month it's up 62%. So a lot of the smaller miners did outperform the big guys here, it looks like. Okay. Bitcoin miner ETFs here. The BitQ for today was up 2.36%. For the month it is up 12.5% roughly. BKCH was up 1.61%, and for the month it's up 21%. DAP was up 2.37% for today. For the month it's up 11%. And then WGMI being up 1.2%, and for the month it's up almost 30% there, 29.72%. The Ethereum holding companies here, BMNR was up 4.71%, down for the month approximately 10%. BitDigital being up today 3.39%. For the month it's up 22%. BTCS up today 3.9%, and for the month it's down 22%. GameStar was up 2%. For the month it's down just a little bit, 0.194%, and SBET up being 8.38% today. For the month it is down 18%. So not doing that great there, right? How did Ethereum do for the month? If we look at that one as well, where's that one at over here? Ethereum is also down for the month. It's down 7.24% in that one. All right, some of the other things that we take a look at here. American Bitcoin was down 1.71%. For the month, it is down 24%. Wi-Fi was up 5.49%. It is actually up 25% for the month. Open was up 5.86%, and for the month, it's actually in the red here, down 2.5% roughly. Oracle was up 2.2%, and for the month, it's actually down 6.62%. So the miners that are getting into AI actually have done better than Oracle. That's kind of interesting to see there. And Nibius was up 5.35% today, and for the month here, it was up 16%. Soluna was up today 20%. For the month, though, it is down 17%. Okay. Fermi was down 4.31%, and for the month, it's actually up. Let's see, don't have a percentage on that one. What else do we have here that we check? I think that's it, right? If we look at maybe even Meta was down 2.7% today. It was down 11%, roughly almost 12% for the month. Google was down just a little bit, 0.3%, and Google had a nice month here, was up 15%. Amazon was up 9.58%, and for the month here, it's up 11%, so that definitely, the quarter there helped them out for the results, and Microsoft was down today 1.51% and down for the month 0.03%. So the miners, right, when we looked at those guys, they did a heck of a lot better than a lot of these guys here. So we really don't have much to complain here right now based on what we're just seeing here on the results of what has transpired over this past month. Bitcoin being down, a lot of other things were down as well, but yet the miners held up very, very, very well, which is very encouraging to me to see that they are not following Bitcoin so much and they are going more on the prowess of HPC AI. All right, so that should make you guys happy here. It makes me happy at least, right? We're not bleeding as much as we would have otherwise, I think. So that's great news there. Like we talked about, Bitcoin was down 3.69% for the month of October here. November, I mean, we're up a little bit right now as it is, 0.11%, but it's just the beginning. So we'll see where we actually end up here. Historically, November has been pretty good for us as well. We've only had 4 years out of the last 13 or so that have been red. And historically, it's been pretty good. Last year, we had a great run, 37%, right? We did actually get to like 67% at one point, or 47%, I think it was the peak. in Bitcoin price there, appreciation. So if we get another great November, if we get maybe half of this, if we get 15 to 20% increase in Bitcoin, that could take us obviously to 132, 135, maybe 140,000, maybe in November. We'll see. And then historically, December has not been that favorable to us. So we'll see how December plays out, whether this cycle is completely different than the prior cycles where we might have an extended cycle. And then we'll see where maybe we'll get a green month out of December. We'll see. That's still a ways out, obviously a full month away. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one, see where that goes. Bitcoin ETF inflows here really quick. Take a look at that as well. Let's see if I can refresh this. So we had IBIT selling out yesterday, 290 million there, for a total of 488 million outflows on Bitcoin. So we've had 3 days so far. Right now, we'll see where IBIT comes in for today, whether that's a positive or a negative. On that one, the FedWatch tool, let's take a look at that one. What's that? We had prior was 67.8%. The current one is actually down a little bit to 63% as far as getting a rate cut here in December. So that's still quite a ways out before we actually see what happens there. So we'll see if that starts to climb up as we get closer to it or not. Other than that, the only thing I have on right now is Bitfarms schedules their third quarter 2025 conference call on November 13th. So basically 2 weeks away from now. That'll be happening on Friday, I believe. And they are going to do a live webcast. And what time is that going to be at? 8 a.m. in the morning here. So it'll be on a Thursday. Sorry, I thought it was a Friday, Thursday. It'll be on a Thursday, the 13th at 8 a.m. there. And then we got also TerraWolf schedules their conference call also for their setting theirs for Monday, November 10th. So a week and a half from now, roughly. And that's going to be happening at after the close at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. They will release all that information. So we'll see how they're doing there. Okay. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. It's a Friday. We're going to maybe go really quick here, see what you guys have to say, any questions, comments, things like that. I don't see that many comments right now. It's a Friday night, so I'm not expecting a lot of you guys in here, and gals. It's Friday. Should be out there celebrating, right? Especially with the miners being up and Bitcoin being down. We have something to actually celebrate here. Plus, it's Halloween. So, right, a lot of people are getting dressed up, going to parties maybe, things like that, which is great. Those are always fun. Adult Halloween parties are always a blast. All right, let's get into Q&A here, and we'll call it a day. See what you guys have to say on any of this stuff. What are your thoughts there? I'm going to scroll my way up and work my way down as always. Let's see. All right, John Kurtz says, hey, Seb, honestly, I'm not sure how the miners will do, but I've been buying every day last 2 weeks. Huge rally continues for overall markets. Here's why. All right, so 80% of fund managers are trailing the S&P 500 for the year. It's mandatory for them to buy up and any downturn to catch up. Big money coming our way. That would be great. So that would bode well for November and possibly even December there. I'm surprised that 80% of them are down for the year, even with the S&P being up and everything else. Maybe they stayed on the sidelines too long during some of the FUD that we had here. Let's see here. Sorry, I got to sneeze. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. This is why Tom Lee calls this the most hated rally. He talked about it again on CNBC. I'll have to check that out. And thank you for sharing that, John. Let's see here. Paul. Sebastian, you think investors taking profits on Riot today after a good earnings? Wonder why the dump today, or like you said earlier, after the market pump and open dump. Could have been that, right? I also think it might have been just the timeline that they've maybe provided for their build out. That might have been it. I'm not sure. It's your no name says, hopefully no more shakeouts in November. That would be a good thing. I'm looking forward to having none of those happening here. Paul says, happy Halloween. Let's see. No name channel says, happy Halloween. Spooky miner stock prices for the win this Halloween season. Yeah, I mean, miners did pretty good here in October nonetheless. Dan says, hey, Sebastian, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to you, all of you as well. Rob says, hi, Seb. Dan, is selling Cleanspark at 24 a mistake? Right now, you're looking pretty smart if you sold it at 24, right? But I think it's still going to go up higher as long as everything else goes up higher with it. And then they announced some good stuff. We'll have to obviously listen to their conference call, see what they say in that. They have done pretty well here recently. Obviously, a lot of news updates from them. Right, they hired a nice person to lead the AI side of things, the data center AI space. They partnered with a pretty good company there also to help them build out. And then the third thing was that they purchased a site in Texas as well. So 1, 2, 3, they're going towards that AI space there. All right, Caprice. There was a time where miners barely moved with BTC moving up and moving down fast when BTC moved down. Now it might finally be the opposite. Kind of looks like it, yeah. I mean, just based on what we saw here in October alone. Let's see here. Caprice says, at Dan, I'm willing to bet, yes, it probably won't be below 24 for a long time. Would agree with you there as well. Rob, strange to see all the miners move up except Bitfarms and Hive, the two Canadian miners, right? So, yeah, a little strange there, but not too strange, I guess you could say. Enhut, you think IREN announces an HPC deal in next reporting? Overall, BTC will go down harder in November, and if they do not give us some good news, the miner will go down harder than we thought. I don't know if they're going to have a deal. I think I'm more looking forward to them announcing getting to like 60,000 GPUs and what that timeline might be. That would be, I think, better than them getting a deal with somebody. And as far as BTC will go down harder in November, I'm not sure. I don't think anybody knows right now. And I gotta see it's coming up. Excuse me. Allergies are starting to kick in. Yeah, I'm not sure how Bitcoin will do. Nobody really knows, so we'll have to wait and see. I got another sneeze coming on. Oh, apologies on that one. All right. Caprice asks, Enhut, how do you know if BTC will go down harder in November? Yeah, I mean, nobody really knows on that one. Let's see. Seb does MicroStrategy make money? What is their business model? How do they pay everyone on staff? They have a software business, right? MicroStrategy is a software business for business clients, sir. Oh, jeez. I think what do they generate? Like a couple $100 million a year from that, right? So that's where all the funding goes from. Let's see. Kepler says, all things considered, Bitcoin has had higher lows and higher highs since October 17th. Believe it or not, that is true as well, yeah. Saeem, what's your thoughts on Cypher and IREN earnings coming this week? Apologies again. Cypher, I'm not sure they're going to be EPS positive yet. I don't think they will be. IREN should be EPS positive still, so that'll be good. And then we'll just have to wait to see what they report as far as progress on AI and things like that. Oh my goodness. I hate it when this happens during the live stream, but it is what it is. Oh, we got one more question to go. Maybe we can call it quits here early before I sneeze my head off. Victor's got a question here for Cypher. If they're a great news and it goes down like for Riot, do you think eventually come back to break all-time highs? How long does it take for this sort of thing to clear? Have you seen this before? Well, it's different this time around with the miners, right? Last time the miners were more reactive to Bitcoin price going up or down. This time around, we're going more on HPCI, right? We're seeing obviously huge demand from HPCI in Google, in Amazon, even Meta as well, right? All of these guys are still building out. They have this huge demand for it, but they can't build fast enough as well. That's why you're seeing companies like FluidStack partner with Cypher, partnering with TeraWulf as well, right? It's just a faster way for them to get access to all those GPUs. So I'm not sure as far as Cypher, as far as great news will come. It'd be great if they do report something, but again, I want to see them actually do something like IREN, where they're building out their own servers and getting customers that way as well. I think that would probably pump the stock up even more at that point. But we'll have to wait and see on that. I think all of these guys will still continue to run here. The demand is still outrageous for all of this stuff, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon, probably for the next couple of years potentially. Right as the stuff is being built out, demand is just huge out there right now. All right. All right, Rob says, CryptoVisor says strategy doesn't make any money because the Bitcoin they hold isn't real money, according to the video in his video today. Well, I mean, obviously that's his take on it. They do generate revenue from their business that they have. Check into them, right? That's still generating several $100 million a year for them on that alone. And then as far as Bitcoin appreciation obviously makes them money. It gives them, values their books higher. So, but yeah, I mean, they're not really making any money off Bitcoin right now, I don't think, unless they start lending it out, which they might actually become a bank later on if they wanted to. All right, XVEX. New power rules in British Columbia, Canada for AI may affect IREN, but not Bell and Hive grandfathered in. IREN is already grandfathered in because they already have all the power there already, and they're not looking to set up any new sites. So they are also grandfathered in right now. IREN even has stated that as well. Okay. Yes, XVEX has new rules proposed. Yeah, we saw those. We talked about that. So we'll see on that one. Paul, is it possible for Riot to buy Bitfarms like I've heard lately said? I don't think they're going to be buying out Bitfarms anytime soon. That's one of the other things I want to see is how much shares they have of Bitfarms left, if any, at this point. Rob says someone has to tell CryptoVisor to shut down his channel. I don't. This is the first time I'm hearing of this person, so I've never seen their stuff. I may have to take a look at it just to see what's going on there on that one. But that is it, folks. That is all I got for you guys. And my nose is starting to run like crazy now as well, so maybe this is a good time. Nonetheless, let me see here. We got one more coming in from Victor here really quick. We'll get to that one, and we'll call it quits for today at least. Let me see. Where is it? Victor, okay. Question. Mike thinks Cypher will test for cloud soon. I've heard that as well. But I think they're talking about maybe doing like a 20 megawatt site or something like that for that. That would be great. That would be great to see if they do that. And can they get customers for that as well? So that would be very, very interesting to see. All right. Well, that's it. Paul and everybody else, have a great weekend as well. Thank you so much for coming in here. I do apologize for the sneezing. You just never know when things like allergies will kick in. So I'll leave it at that. Love you all. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll get back into swing of things on Sunday. And then obviously look forward to a hopefully much better November for us. We also have Thanksgiving, so we have hopefully more things to be thankful around Thanksgiving time. All right. Love you all. I'll see you guys Sunday. Have a great weekend. Bye.